From a performance basis, we, relaunched in just under 5 weeks. We went from zero to $1 million in revenue. Certainly didn't think we'd hit those benchmarks. We landed where we wanted to be from a margin basis, from a product, proof of product market fit basis.
And was it profitable? Like all things considered?
Yeah, it was even with the sunk cost into some creative that's evergreen. We still came out close to our desired margin. I think the initial response was far more than we anticipated, and the creative really landed. Whether it's product market fit, the right way to art, tell the story of the product, seasonal timing. I mean, I think there's a lot of things that aligned, but you know, with the inventory allocation we had, we thought that would last months, and reality was we only had in stocks barely up to 5 weeks.
With a lot of headwinds, and things not necessarily working in our favor. Our inventory was late. It got caught in customs. We switched to a pre-order at the last minute.
Our customer service team wasn't in
Yeah,
place
we
yet.
didn't have a customer service team. But despite all that, we still, I think wildly exceeded our forecasts and our expectations.
From the way Alex and I have always done things from a business perspective, we're about as lean as, allowed.
I think it's not a bad thing to outsource what you're not good at and play into your strengths, but you need to stay involved with the outsourced resources and learn. We knew nothing about how Meta worked, and now we can have a semi-intelligent conversation with anybody about it. So outsourcing is not a bad thing, but you can't just kind of set it and forget it. I think you got to stay as involved as you can with all these different partners that you bring on.
I want to add that it's important to know how your business makes money, how you reach your customer, what speaks to them from the methodologies you're employing to reach them, right? A lot of purchasing is an emotional decision outside of like toothpaste and toothbrushes. You could probably be emotional about a toothbrush, but uh the point that I'm trying to make is if you're so buried in your product and you don't understand the why or what is motivating someone to become your customer, you can't effectively grow. You can't evaluate future partners that you want to bring on. If you want to bring a more robust internal team as opposed to just flex resources, if you don't have a basic understanding of how everything interplays, you can't grow your team adequately either. You don't even know how to evaluate the person in front of you. An agency is going to be happy to bill you, but not necessarily get in the trenches with you. Whereas, like Eric, someone like yourself, you were there to get us up and going.
I think we talked to a lot of agencies and they all had really good sales pitches, and had a lot of resources behind them. But ultimately, when we dug a little deeper, we found that while there was a great sales pitch, ultimately you got handed down to some kind of an account manager, and there were layers below that, and you didn't really have great visibility on what was going on. They'll say, "Oh, you need content creation? Great, we can do that. You need social media management? Yep, no problem. TikTok, sure. Uh, Google, we got you." But what we found in interviewing and working with agencies in the past is they can't be good at everything. Each agency, I think, has their specialty, which they really push, and then they'll try to upsell you on these other suites of services. But we found that building a team, of which, by the way, Eric has been really instrumental with referrals, you're able to cherry pick the best of the best and choose the partners that are appropriate for your needs at that particular time in your business, where you don't necessarily have that flexibility when you're tied to a larger agency. We don't know what more we could have done because we ran out of inventory sooner than expected. So for, looking at that metric, it was a great success. And then backing out and looking at our CAC and kind of working backwards from that, we hit our expectations. And I think we're just super pumped to go into round two this summer.
We were surprised by the performance of the underproduced content shot on iPhone, especially when it's mirrored up against same frame, same shot, same talent in cinematic quality stuff. But I think it just goes to show you that the phone in your pocket is adequate enough to start creating content and trying to find out if you have a product and if you have a market. And that kind of drives back into, yes, you can launch a product extremely lean and find out if you have something there. I want to sell 6x the volume of inventory. It'd be great to see our customer acquisition cost come down 10 to 15% and our conversion rate on our website, move up 30% essentially. I think all these things are realistic with what we're employing from the site basis in the omni-channel approach we're taking.
We're still super early on in this journey, and there's a lot of good things to come. And I think first, before an exit would be great. That's something to aspire to, but we need to really focus on building this brand.
You have to have a goal, right? You can't just start a business and be like, I want to sell this object. What are you driving to? How do you measure your performance? What are your yardsticks? So I think if you walk into a company, or a business and you don't have the mindset of where I want to take it, that I would consider selling it, and then have that, internal reflection point once you get there, I don't know how you adequately grow otherwise. Like it's like going to the gym, right? Why are you going to the gym? Are you going to the gym because your doctor told you? Are you trying to lose weight? What's your goal? Like you need to drive towards something. And even in business, that very much rings true. So whether we build this brand to keep or sell, who knows? But we have benchmarks internally that guide us, down that direction someday.
And does it feel like there's kind of a clear path, at least for this next year, in terms of what needs to happen in order to hit the forecasted goals?
Yep.
Yep.
Crystal clear.
Yeah.
We just need to get our factory making enough to keep up with the demand.